Hello, my lovelies. Welcome to another After Sunset Sunday. Okay, enough for the creepy stuff. I see Susan in the chat, Chloe and Kathy and Linda. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. I am working on yet another embroidery. So we are going to do some embroidery on Halloween Town tonight. I just actually finished the one that's on the machine, and we are going to start in another one. So let me get my phone on Do Not Disturb so we don't have too many interruptions. And how are you all doing tonight? Let's see, we're asking if Susan finished her cotton cut clues, and everybody's saying hello. Lori, welcome in. Jean, welcome in. Glad you guys made it. Laura, welcome. Okay, so I did get informed, and I did not think about it. Apparently, tomorrow is Columbus Day celebrated, so the post office will be closed. Welcome in, Mitzi. Welcome. So anything that you won will actually go out on Tuesday because the post office is closed tomorrow. So I will be shipping it out, but it will not go out until Tuesday. So I do apologize for that. These are in the normal purple colors. You guys are seeing it through my orange lights tonight. Welcome in, Glenda. Welcome in, Ray Ann. Glad you guys made it. Welcome. So I want you guys to tell me which one we are doing. You guys get to choose. Are we doing the mummy? Are we doing a witch? Or are we doing Frankenstein? Those are the three I got left. I've got one more witch to go. I just did a witch. I've got one more witch to go. Welcome in, Helen. I've got Frankenstein. And I've got the mummy. You guys tell me, what do you want to see me working on? We're probably not going to get all the way through the entire embroidery because that usually takes a good 3 hours on most of these. But you guys get to tell me which one you guys want to see. So if you will put in the chat, tell me if I am doing the mummy, tell me if I am doing the Frankenstein, or tell me if I am doing the witch. Okay, one vote for the mummy. Glenda says Frankenstein. Lori says mummy. All right, so we got 2 votes for mummy, 1 vote for Frankenstein. Anyone else? Mitzi says, I was trying to solve the cotton cut puzzle. I didn't get very far. Don't worry, I have not tried mine yet. I've got my cotton cut clue 9 done. I just have to pull it out and put it in the way. Alright, so we got 2 votes for the mummy and 2 votes for Frankenstein. Susan says, I'm going to get the money out in the morning and going about an hour away to buy the vintage singer I found on Facebook Marketplace. Woohoo! Oh, that's awesome. Alright, so we got 3 votes for the mummy, 2 votes for Frankenstein. Any other votes? So you guys are going towards the mummy or Frankenstein. We don't have any votes for the witch yet, so that's kind of good. I just got done doing a witch, so I'm good waiting on another witch. I'll be doing it tomorrow. Jean says that she is still hand quilting mom's quilt. Had to take a break. I do not blame you. I do not blame you one bit. I got the label on Laura's quilt. What was it? Yesterday. And I got part of the way done and then decided I didn't like what I'd done. So I went back and did it again. So I redid it. I did the label twice. Alright, so as of right now, we got 3 votes for the mummy and 2 for Frankenstein. So I am going to guess that the mummy is going to win. Doesn't Frankenstein's wife need a hubby? Oh yeah, he'll get done. But guys, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 rows, and I'm doing row 5 up there. I've got 1 already up there, and I got 2 to go up there, so I have only 3 designs left to go. So that is awesome. Kathy says that she's cutting fabrics for her test pattern right now. She has 414 pieces of one color to go. Ooh, that's a lot. Judy, welcome. Glad you are here. Okay, so we have enough votes for the mummy, so I'm gonna go find the mummy. Ooh, I think he's right there. Yeah, I don't have to look very far for him. That worked perfectly. That worked absolutely perfectly. Jean says that she only has 4 weeks though, so she needs to get busy. Oh yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Oh my goodness. So yeah, what I'll be getting to tomorrow is going to be all of the rest of everything. So it's not going to get forgotten or nothing. It is all going to get done. And one thing I did not think about is while you guys can't see the colors clearly, neither can I. So I don't even know what colors I'm picking up. All right. So we have picked up the purple, the light purple. Kind of needed it. Let's see. Yes, Susan definitely needed a rest. Kathy says it's Christmas gnome from Andrea. Yes. I'm excited to see that come to life. I knew I could not do that cutting right now. Mitzi says the refurbished featherweight painted orange. Ooh, hang on. All right, welcome in, Susie. Glad you're here. She says the refurbished featherweight painted orange creamsicle went on for $2,500 yesterday. So yeah, oh my gosh. I would have loved that machine. I really don't need anything else orange because I'm not typically an orange person. But of course we are wearing orange lights tonight. We're going to see if my eyes like the orange a little bit better than they liked the purple last week. So yeah, welcome. Helen says the featherweight was crazy sale yesterday. I bet. You've got all these people wanting this one machine. You don't have 15 machines of the same color going out. So yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Everybody's saying hello to everyone else. I love that. I love it. So if you guys did not see, okay, actually go back. Did you guys see the community tab? Did you guys see the happy mail I got? I am absolutely in love with it. That was a fantastic happy mail to get. I got a birthday card that is sitting right back here next to my husband's birthday card that he gave me. Welcome in, Patricia. I did see your post on Facebook recently. Welcome. Oh, you know what? I think I just put... No, I guess not. I was like, wait a minute. I think I put my brand new needle that I just got out. I think I put it in the container to get rid of it. I hope not. We'll find out. This needle is not that bad, but I have used it for about 2 or 3 embroideries. So it's about time to say goodnight to it. All right. And we are going to, Susan says we'll look later. Absolutely. It came in yesterday and it was fantastic timing. I had a particularly tough day yesterday. Ended up going to a social thing and ended up coming home without actually getting to go to my social thing. There's an issue with the location and service dog access. And I did not really have the energy to fight with them. So I just said I wasn't going to worry about it. Linda says that she saw it. It was awesome, right? I'm super stoked. I have got to figure out what I am doing with that layer cake, because that is absolutely fantastic. And the purple fabric, it's to die for. Absolutely to die for. Fantastic. So thank you for the happy mail. I really do appreciate it. I'm super excited. So I'm going to be looking at layer cake patterns and trying to come up with something. Helen says, Chloe, I only got the bundle that was for the charity sale. Oh, okay. Chloe says, that sounds rough. It was, but definitely coming home and going to the mailbox to go pick up happy mail. That was the turning point. That made it a lot more bearable because I got to touch and feel some very, very pretty fabric. And yeah, that was worth it. So late birthday, but absolutely fantastic timing. Could not have been better timing. Pam is here. Welcome in, Pam. She says, hi, everyone. Looks like a large group tonight. Yeah, yes, it is. I'm showing 16 viewers, so I appreciate you guys being here. And I did manage to turn the light off on Beauty, so you guys should be able to kind of see what I'm doing. With the purple lights, I really could not see this. But with the orange lights, I can see what I'm doing. I just can't see the colors. So, you know, I kind of have to turn my flashlight on for the colors, at least for a minute, because I just don't know the color numbers by heart. Like, I'll know my black because it's sitting over here, but, you know, all the rest of them, whatever. It's whatever color I pick up. So the mummy may end up with some very interesting colors. Just saying. He might end up with some very interesting colors. Let me go find him in my thing real quick so I have my instructions handy. There's the mummy. Alright, so we're doing the batting tacking stitch right now, which is tacking down the batting fabric. And I am using fusible fleece. You don't always necessarily need to use fusible fleece, but that is what I chose to use for this. Just because I had plenty of it, I could cut it to size, and it wasn't going to waste a whole bunch of product on something else. Alright, so this is my applique placement stitch for Sky. So if you've not ever done machine embroidery, I got asked this earlier today. If you've never done machine embroidery, what most machine embroidery companies do, if you are doing an applique embroidery, is you will stitch a placement stitch, lay your fabric down on top of it, and then that's going to be some tight cutting. I think we'll be alright though. Once you have the applique stitching down, or the placement stitching down, you lay your applique fabric on top of that, stitch it down, and then you trim away the extra. So we are doing the placement stitch right now. And I know it doesn't show very clearly, but I will pick this off the machine here in just a second so you guys can see. There are 30, let's see. Yeah, there are 30 steps to this applique design. So I don't think we're going to get through all of them in the live, but we're going to get through as many as we can. Let me grab my screen so I can see what you guys are seeing. There we go. So this is just the placement stitch. So this top area right here, that is where my applique fabric is going to need to go. So I am going to take my applique fabric, and I do know that this is my Sky. If I didn't, I would definitely turn my flashlight on. And I think I've got enough on here to do 2 embroideries left on it, maybe. I think, maybe. We might not have that much, but we have at least enough for this one. So I'm just going to lay it over, and I have enough extra room on the sides, so I'm going to hold this on the sides. Mitzi, I got these from Anita Good Design. They are still available. So if you go to Anita Good Design, it's GOODESIGN. So it's 1D in the word Good Design. Welcome in, Melina. Glad you are here. But yeah, if you go to Anita Good Design, look for Halloween Town. That is actually what the design pack is called. Her original designs are in gray and orange. So her sky is orange and her ground is gray. So that's the colorings that she selected, or the company selected, for Anita Good Design. And my original version of these, when I originally started stitching them years and years and years ago, is orange and navy blue, and they were just too much. Like, it just did not look good at all. So I decided I wanted to do Halloween Town. I wanted to actually finish it, because I'd started it and never finished it. I did 3 designs and that was it. originally. But I wanted to stitch all 25 of the blocks, and I decided that I needed to revamp it. I needed to be true to my colors, true to something that would look good in my opinion. So I took and decided I was going to do it in purples, and it's been the best decision ever because all of these designs are popping. They're all showing very well. So with the fact that I am going to finish these tomorrow, provided that I don't have any, machine issues or anything else, that I will have, I'll have, some, let me go, there we go. I had to get far enough away so I can grab my hoop off the machine. Alright, so I know it's kind of hard to tell because this is a batik, but this is my stitching lines here. So I'm going to trim away this extra fabric down here, and I'm going to trim away some of the extra. I'm going to leave some at the top. So you can trim on these designs. My understanding is you're supposed to be able to trim all the way to 1/4 of an inch away. That's probably not going to, that's not going to give me enough. So that'll go my scraps. You can trim to like 1/4 of an inch away from this outline stitching, but I am leaving 1/2 of an inch all the way around just so, because I'm not really going to assemble it the way that they have you assemble it, where you're, assembling this with other quilted block pieces directly. We're going to do a slightly different assembly. It's something that I came up with a while back, so I do need to cut my extra fabrics, but I wanted to make sure I had enough fabric that was the right size for all of these to be able to do it. So I'm not going to cut the mummy arms out. I think it's just going to be too tight for me to try to cut, especially in the darker light, or the weird light that we got going on tonight, the spooky lights. So I'm just rough cutting. On the sky, you have a little bit more room. So this is the head here. There's the arms. I think you can kind of see it here in the picture. I'm not going to worry about cutting those because they're really tiny. And I know what fabric I'm going to use for the mummy, for the applique for the mummy. So I know that it won't be see-through. So I don't have to worry about seeing that fabric come through. Now, if you do have to worry about your fabric being a little see-through, you do need to go ahead and do the trim all the way, as like within that 1/8 of an inch to the edge. You don't want to leave a whole lot of extra room when it's that close. Susan says, my little brother keeps sending me pics of table runners that are most definitely done with an embroidery machine. I told him if he wants one of those, he needs to buy me the machine to do it. See? You already have the plan. That is exactly how you do it. You tell them that they buy you the machine and you'll do the work. That absolutely works. That is fantastic. The Pam says, Susan, that's one way to get a machine, right? It absolutely is. Absolutely is. Alright, so my next stitching after this is doing the stippling all around this purple section around the sky. The next stitching is going to be windows for the house. So I'm going to have 2 different colors of yellow for the windows for the house. So I'm going to pull my yellows out while we're talking. Chloe says, a perfect gift, right? I cannot agree more with that statement. That would be a fantastic way to get a machine. Linda says maybe he will want it bad enough to buy you one, right? He absolutely needs to buy her one. Absolutely needs to buy her one. Alright, so we are going to do that yellow first and that yellow second. Okay. So I've got my colors pulled out. Oh, you guys are so funny. I do love that idea, though. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Get him to buy you the machine by telling him you'll do it for him if he buys it. I fully endorse that statement. Oh. And see, you can come here and you can learn how to do a machine embroidery. So, yeah. We'll help. We'll help. You've got a network. You have a network. Oh, so how are you all doing tonight? I can't believe we have this many people in the chat. This is fantastic, guys. I did pull out a cue card for us to talk about tonight. So we'll pull that up in probably another 4 or 5 minutes or so. We'll get that pulled up. So I can't help but laugh. Yeah, I mean, getting him to buy you the machine. I fully endorse that message. Now, my machine does grab my thread a little bit when it cuts. I need to do a little bit more thorough cleaning on it, but I haven't had time. So if you guys see me pulling the thread, that is why I'm doing that. I'm also pulling the thread back through the machine. I don't recommend that you do that. It is not a wise decision. But again, I need to clean Beauty really well. So I already know, she needs some TLC. I did check. Chloe says that she is good, tired, and can't stay on it. Oh, you are fine. I completely understand. I actually got like an hour, maybe 2 hours of sleep last night. So we're going to see how long I last. Mitzi says that she loves her machine embroidery, just don't use it enough. Yeah. Now, after this project, I'm going to thoroughly annoy my neighbor with machine embroidery. So I just have to say, I'm going to thoroughly annoy her. Kathy says that her machine also catches the thread when it cuts. Yeah. Laura says, I'm exhausted. We got home from a short weekend away about an hour ago. There was tons of traffic on the way. Oh my gosh. Oh, Lori. She says, I'm chopping onions for stuffing. She's crying. Oh my gosh. Y'all are cracking me up. This is funny. So I slept like maybe an hour, maybe 2 last night. Oh, the embroidery I'm going to do after this, the next embroidery design pack that I have is also another Anita Good design. And it is the periodic table of the sewing elements. I don't know if that's the official wording for it. I will have to look at it and see if I can. I've got to find it so I can tell you for sure. Chloe says traffic is no fun. Hope you enjoyed your trip, Laura. You're right. And from what she said earlier, she won some stuff. Was that this? That was this weekend, wasn't it? She and her husband are lucky winners. And so, like, she is, like, hitting a major winning streak, and I told her she needs to move up here, or she, like, needs to come up here and come share that winning streak with me. I would not mind. Susan says that she got about 8 hours of sleep, but the quality wasn't good. Too excited about getting the vintage singer. Yes! See? That's the kind of things to be excited about. Chloe says those onions will always get you. Yes, they will. Kathy says, I have an embroidery project coming in for Christmas. I still have one from 4th of July that I haven't done. Oh, gosh. Pam says that she finished a baby quilt today. I saw that. I love it. She says, except for the label, and that's an accomplishment. Yeah, it is. It absolutely is. Patricia says that she had a rough weekend. One of her dogs... Oh, no. Oh, my heart goes out to you. That is so tough. She lost one of her puppies. And she's been watching live streams all weekend to help her through. I do not blame you one bit. So my name, The Siberian Wind, came from my Siberian Husky. And my husband did get to meet him, and he actually got to live. The Husky was living with us for a little bit. And it was very, very difficult when we had to say goodbye. So my heart goes out to you. Absolutely goes out to you, Patricia. Let's see. Glenda says that she got up at 5 a.m. and went back to bed at 8 a.m. and slept until 12. Crud that she caught is getting her bad. Oh, no, that's not good. Can't be catching the crud. You've had all that weather, too. You can't be catching the crud. Laura says that the trip was wonderful. Each of them won a door prize at the quilt show that they found while they were away. She won a zipper bag and he won a Michael Miller jelly roll. I mean, like, who has that kind of luck? That is just not fair. That is just not fair. I never have that kind of luck. I mean, I have all of you guys, so I really am lucky. I do count myself lucky for that, so, you know, don't cry for me. But I never win, like, drawings or something. Chloe says, well, Laura, you're on a lucky streak, right? Kathy says that she's with Glenda. She slept until about noon. She has some type of funky stuff going on with her throat and cough. Oh, no, Kathy. No. Can't have you getting sick. You got to be better by the 7th. We go live on the 7th. You guys, if you have not already purchased your book for Celebrate with Quilts and you want to do the Celebrate with Quilts Land That I Love or any of the other quilts in that book, we are starting those November 7th. Every Thursday night we will be live. Don't know about Thanksgiving. We have not discussed Thanksgiving in detail. I may still be live. It just depends on if I need a break from socializing and being in the kitchen. And if I do, I absolutely will be here. I don't do all the cooking, so it kind of helps. Glenda says, Kathy, a lot of people are getting it. I bet. You guys are kind of in the forefront down on the coast, or down in that southeast. Let's see. Susan says that she got a baby quilt top sewn yesterday as well as the Mayflower's door panel top yesterday. Ooh, how exciting, Susan. That's awesome. Laura says that her hubby is the lucky one. He's her lucky charm. Oh, no, that's so sweet. All right, Rayanne. Does Laura's husband win more brownie points than mine? Do not tell him I asked that. Alright, I'm going to turn my flashlight on, make sure this is right. Nope, it was not the right color. Good thing I turned my flashlight on. This would be all funky. All funky stuff. Glenda said that she went back to bed as soon as she signed off yesterday and slept till 5. Oh, goodness. Yeah, you definitely needed it. So there's a brownie points thing going on at one of my quilt groups, and oh, the husbands are trying to win brownie points. So, you know, if our husbands win us something, they win brownie points too, I think. But don't quote me on that. My husband hasn't won me anything specifically. So we're gonna hold our judgment on that. We're gonna hold our judgment. Oh, let's see. Yes, Chloe. She says, sorry to hear you are feeling sick, Glenda and Kathy, hoping for speedy recovery. Rhea says Tom still has a huge amount left. Guys, he showed up with flowers and a card and my lunch one day. I did not have time to go get my lunch before I went out to go sew all day. And he brought me my lunch and brought me a card and flowers. So that's the brownie points we're talking about. And then all the decorating and, yeah, all the normal stuff that he does. Mitzi says Friday was a rough day. Found out we lost a family member overseas. Oh, no! It was rough on my children. I've had a heavy heart. Speaking with my quilting friends have helped. I wish I could give you a hug. Oh, I wish I could give you a hug. I'm so sorry, Mitzi. That is... And especially when they're overseas, there's not much you can do. Yeah, it's not much you can do. And she says, don't forget about the kiss. Yeah. So one of the other husbands got more brownie points than my husband because he gave a long, lingering kiss. And so my husband had to make up for the brownie points he didn't earn the first time around. And so the long, lingering, or the long kiss was part of that. All right, so let's see. Going to see my children in 2 weeks. It will be good. Yes, absolutely, Mitzi. Susan says, so sorry to hear about that, Mitzi. My prayers are for you and your family. All right. So, since we are talking about family, I still feel like it's an appropriate question. The question of the night. We have a little card. We have the card. All right. What is your favorite family activity to do outdoors? What is your outdoorsy activity to do with your family? What's a good memory? What's something that you just enjoy? Let's talk about some happy times. And let's do some lifting spirits that way. Let's talk about the happy stuff and see if we can bring back some memories and help that way. I know. Oh my goodness. We have a puppy that's no longer with us, and we have a family member that's no longer with us. So that's a lot. You guys have had a rough week. This is the sewing time. This is the touch fabric, touch thread. Ooh, I like that, Patricia. Cornhole with the hubby, she says. You know, when our neighbors moved in upstairs, the newest neighbors, they actually brought cornhole with them. So I'm thinking that they probably enjoy cornhole too. I don't know that I've seen any place around here where you can play that. My husband and I are so competitive. I don't know if we would do well with it. Missy says it amazes me how much cornhole has grown. Right? Like when I was a kid, cornhole was not a thing. Like it was not, like there was no point in playing it. Susan says we enjoy badminton. Ooh, I've never played that. She played it at the family picnic last month. That's exciting. Chloe says apple picking and going for hikes in beautiful New Hampshire. Ooh, I've never been apple picking. That's something I don't know. I don't know if there's a place around here to do that. I've never been. Pam says we didn't get to do it a lot, but boating in the Minnesota lakes. I love to go boating. My husband and I do enjoy getting out on the water in a boat. He's not a get out and swim in the lake, but he definitely enjoys to get out and boat. Lori says raking leaves into piles and jumping in. Oh my gosh, that is like fantastic. I loved that as a kid. I don't know. So funny story. Growing up in the Southeast, and exactly where I grew up, you didn't have leaves. You only had pine straw. So our thing was we would rake all the pine straw into piles, but you can't really jump into a pile of pine straw without getting poked and stabbed. So anytime there's been leaves, like as an adult, anytime there's been a pile of leaves, oh my gosh, I so want to go jump in it. Kathy says that she's a spectator, but her favorite thing was her youngest daughter playing softball, her son playing baseball, and her oldest and youngest being on the dance line and all the football games. Oh, that's exciting. I don't blame you for being a spectator for those. That's actually kind of cool, too. I didn't think about that being an option. Glenda says, I don't get to see my family. They all have very busy lives, but it's all good. Well, I'm glad that you can, that is the way you're able to view it. So that is awesome, Glenda. Yay. Chloe says that her girls play softball. Yeah, I know, because I've been wanting your scores. So my husband was calling baseball, but he's out on the field and I'm in the stands, and I can't go to all the games because it's too hot sometimes, or I just physically can't handle it. So kind of me going to watch him play call baseball games has been an activity in the past. He's really not a good spectator, though. He is not a good baseball spectator, so that's not on our list. Kathy says that her family is getting very busy as well, and she doesn't get to see them as often as she would like. I understand that, too. Let's see. The raking leaf. Yes, it is fun, Chloe, right? Oh my, as a kid, I love that. Yeah, the jumping into the leaves. Oh my gosh. Like, I mean, I never got to jump into a pile of leaves as a kid. I've done it as an adult, but I never got to do it as a kid. Susan says, speaking of family, my older daughter got a job after being unemployed for over a year. She'll be moving to one of the towns on the Olympic Peninsula. Yay! So she's going to be closer to you. Yay. That's exciting. Yes, right, Kathy? She says, oh, wow, just noticed you are only 28 away from 500. I know, right? We are so close. So close. But I will be honest with you guys. I honestly, 100%, hands down, literally hands down, did not expect to even be this close to 500 before January of next year. I figured when I started the channel that it would take me a year to get to 500 subscribers. And I'm so much closer than that than I ever thought I would ever be. So I am not disappointed that I've been kind of hanging out in this like 50 and 30 range away from 500. I'm not disappointed. I'm actually really excited and impressed that I'm that close. That this channel has taken off and just staying that close. Thank you, Glenda. She says, everyone please share and thumbs up. Yes, definitely share. You can thumbs up, thumbs down. It doesn't matter. Kathy asks, what day was your first video? It was the last Tuesday of January, I think. I want to say it was the last Tuesday of January. So like January 28th, maybe. Something like that. It was the end of January. Susan says that she is the one who's still in Washington. It's her sister who moved across the country. Oh, okay. That works too. Yeah, Chloe, she says, congrats to your daughter, Susan. So exciting, right? And Pam says, exciting for her, Susan. Yes, there is, Kathy. I could not agree more. She says that it seems like there's more traffic on the sewing channels. Yes, there is. And I think part of that is that people are realizing that the content is out here. That there are content creators out here creating content in this crafts section of the internet. Like, we're not all, we're not all the same. We're not all creating the same content. We're not all doing the same thing. But we are here, and we're, some people get inspiration from me. Some people get inspiration from, like, gosh, I can't think of names. Over at Jordan Fabrics. I love going to watch her channel, because the videos are 15 minutes and they're calming. It could be, Pam, she's asking if traffic is picking up because the holidays are coming. It could be. There is, I have been thinking about that as a possibility. And I know that after the new year, there's going to be some people that are also going to pick up the channels, because you kind of want to start a whole lot of things at the new, you make your New Year's resolutions. You want to sew more. You want to quilt more. You want to do this. You want to do that. So people see and pick that up from there. Oh, I'm going to have to go watch Glenda. She asks if anyone saw Sean's video today where he won 2 ribbons. I have literally been stitching or running back and forth doing things all day, so I have not watched anything. I did I did put Tiffany's video on, but I wasn't even chatting because I was super busy doing this and taking care of some other stuff I've got going on. Patricia says that she's got a handful of channels that she watches regularly. And Kathy says that she doesn't create content because sometimes it is a mishap that most people see. I like to share the joy of making something that can be passed down in the family. I do not blame you for that, Kathy. I do create, but it's not creating just to create. I am creating because this is something that I want to do, and I'm sharing what I'm working on. And I am creating new projects so that there are more project ideas out there. There's more project inspiration out there. But I'm not doing it just for likes and videos and watches and all of that. I'm doing it because I'm hoping that it inspires someone. Liana just posted a video. She has a new project. She's trying to make wheelchair quilts for a local nursing home. She's asking for donation of quilts or quilt tops. Ooh. I can understand that. Let's see. Susan says that she enjoys how everyone's videos are different, and some, like yours, is being with friends and family. Absolutely. I don't ever want anybody to feel like my content isn't for them, solely because I'm creating something that doesn't make sense. So I'm trying to keep everything to make sense and make things work, that kind of thing. Chloe says that she is working on a quilt for Leanna's quilt donation now. Ooh, yay. Pam says, right, Susan, some are great company in the room, others hating for one. I have to sit and chat. See, you like the hanging out with the family part, right? Kathy says, exactly, more for accountability for me. If I don't have the accountability, there will be hundreds of unfinished projects. Oh my gosh. Can you even imagine what I would end up with? Oh my goodness. I would definitely end up with a lot of unfinished projects. Glenda says that she watches Kathy, but sometimes forgets to comment. I forget to comment too. I go and catch them. And now I will say this. There is a friend of mine that sent me a video, and it was this Arkansas-based crafter, and she was doing a box opening, and there was something about her video that was just annoying me, and I was like, I'm done. I can't watch the rest of this. And I went over to Kathy's channel, and she's opening the exact same box, and I watched the whole thing through. I was like, okay, this content creator was not jiving with what I needed to watch today, but, oh, there's Kathy, and same box. All right, let's watch it. Oh, that is fantastic. Misty says, great, Chloe, I'm going to make some too. Awesome, awesome. Oh, Kathy watches on her TV and can't comment most of the time. I don't blame you. Pam says that she ends up watching replays a lot since she works full time. She usually just watches. This is one of the few that I actually chat. Well, I am blessed that you are here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate that you're here doing that as well. Glenda says that she has years of UFOs. Oh, I do too. We're going to get there. We're definitely going to get there. Oh, Susan says, and then dollars that she's spending, cool patterns that she wants, rulers needed, new books. Yes, yes, that is a problem too. Oh gosh, Kathy, she says that her video tomorrow shows exactly how many unfinished projects she has right now. Oh my goodness, I can just imagine. All right, so I just finished stitching the outline for the house. So the haunted house is done. The windows are yellow. The house itself is like a dark purple, almost a maroon kind of color. And the next thing that it's going to stitch is the tree that's going to go near the house, the little haunted tree, and the bats. And I'm just going to keep this same black in the machine. I don't feel like I need to change those to anything different. So I do kind of like the black for those. So I'm going to let it stitch those in black. So now, just as a guideline, I slowed my machine down to 25% speed. So this little slider right here, if it was all the way over here, it would be at its fastest speed. But I did slow it down so you guys can hear me. And sometimes, because this table is a portable table, sometimes the table will bounce and the machine itself will bounce a little bit, especially if you're embroidering at the fastest speeds. It is not a big problem to slow your machine down. Now, all the others I've done today, I have stitched full speed. So, I mean, this is number 4 for the day. I think 1, 2. Did I finish Bride of Frankenstein yesterday? I think I finished the Bride yesterday. So I started on the pumpkins today and did the cat. So that's 2, 3. So yes, this is 4 that I am stitching today. So I've already put my machine through 3 full embroideries. And now this is number 4. There are 37,000 stitches in this embroidery. Kathy says that she prefers her to slow down. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I just want to finish, so I do speed it up. But there's a lot of days it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me. So all day I've stitched at full speed, or mostly full speed. And so, but you guys need to be able to hear me, so I had to slow her down a little bit. Let's see, Kathy says that she actually finally trimmed her craftsman quilt that she has had quilted for months. She needs to get her binding ready. Yeah. So once I finish embroidering these, my first sewing project to do is to finish the bobble quilts. So I taught it, but I have not completely finished my bobble quilt. I need to finish that because I need to get that quilted. And I need to finish quilting grandmother's quilt, my sister-in-law's quilt. So those 2 are high priority. Baby is due November 7th. So I really don't have a lot of free time, so I've got to get that pieced. And I do need to unstitch that one row on my star-crossed path to turn it into a quilt of valor, and repiece that border in place, so it can also be ready to quilt, so that I can maybe have some of those done by the end of November, because I need to have 2 quilts of valor done by the end of November, so we're kind of on a time frame. Kathy says that is such a cute spooky house, right? Right, it is, isn't it? Glenda says, wow, that's a lot of stitches. Yeah, each one of these is quite literally this kind of stitching. There is a lot that goes into this. So it's not been easy getting them all done when you have 40,000 stitches each time. So yeah, it's not been easy. Let me turn my flashlight back on after I get my screen pulled up. There we go. And I gotta pull my dirt color. And that is the color I've already used, so I can't use it. So we're gonna use that. Okay, so that is my dirt color. I had to figure out which one I was gonna use. Lori says that she got some sewing done yesterday. Yay! Kathy says, I will be due a servicing once I get it done. Okay. So here's the fun details. I want you guys to try to guess how many stitches I might have on my machine. I've had this machine since, I want to say, either 2016 or 2017. I know it has to be 2016, early 2016, because Ricky is autographed in 2016. So I've had it at least since 2016, and so how many stitches do you think my machine has? Let's see, Pam says that she hasn't gotten to the embroidery unit yet, maybe next weekend. She long arm today. Oh, that's exciting. That's exciting. Let's see, Glenda says that she loves this. Yes, it is fantastic. I'm loving this design. I'm loving all of these. I mean, okay, if I have to choose a favorite, my favorite so far is probably the big bat, because I really did like doing him, and I really do like the toad and the owls, but the toad wasn't my favorite, and I kind of really liked the haunted tree. It's kind of fun. Let's see. Where am I? Susan says, unfortunately, with the 2 finished tops from yesterday, my pile to be quilted grew. We'll machine quilt the baby quilt. It has to be ready by Wednesday. The rest are going to be hand quilted. Yeah, I have a lot to be machine quilted or to be quilted. I've got 3 that are completely layered and ready to quilt, that are not part of my I need to get them done immediately list. And then I've got 3, either 3 or 4, I can't tell with the lights the way they are. I've either got 3 or 4 quilt tops that need to be layered to be quilted. They are far from being ready to go. Let's see. She purchased the pattern. Just need to pick fabric for the bauble. Oh, yay! That's exciting. Yes, you did get the pattern. I did see that. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I mean, I looked at my husband. I was like, somebody bought my pattern. And he's like, are you serious? Somebody bought your pattern? I was like, yes, somebody bought my pattern. I was giddy. I was very, very giddy. Linda says $1 million. Ooh. Kathy says if you embroider a lot, easily 4,500,000. It's kidding. She's like, I know the answer. Oh, okay. Ooh. Linda says, thinking about boutiques. Ooh, that would be gorgeous. That bauble quilt would be gorgeous in boutiques. And yes, I will say the number of stitches is higher than anyone has guessed so far. I have done a lot of stitching on beauty over the years. Now, I will say Ricky doesn't tell me how many stitches I've sewn on Ricky, so we can't count Ricky's stitches. I am just counting the stitches on beauty. Susan says 3 are layered and basted, and she's hand quilting the Haunted Halloween quilt right now. Ooh, yay! I'm going to love to see that. Chloe says that she loves the toad. Isn't he cute? Isn't he cute? I know he's kind of hard to see right now, but he is right here. And I'd have to unpin a whole bunch to take just him down. Let's see. Chloe's working with some pretty green and yellow boutiques. Ooh, I want to see what they're making with that. Let's see. Patricia says that she does straight line quilts, hopefully a long arm for retirement in 2 years. I do not blame you, Patricia. I do have a sit down long arm that I did buy a cutie frame, so it's a hoop frame because that's all I have room for. And I will tell you, I really do wish I had money for an actual like 10 or not 10 but like a 12 or 14 foot frame, and then upgrade the machine later when I have the money, you know, that kind of deal. Like I would do it in pieces, but I really wish that was in the budget. It is not, unfortunately, but I wish it was. I wish it was. All right, let me check my colors. Oh no, I know exactly which one that one is. I know it too. All right, so drum roll, the number of stitches currently on the machine. Let me go back to it. Okay, 6,237,906. So yeah, Kathy was guessing 4,500,000. Yeah, nope. we are at 6 million. We're over 6 million. Oh. Kathy says she'll be getting a long arm in about 4 years. You'll probably be 4 years ahead of me from getting one. It will take me a really long time before I even have the option to get there, and I'm kind of jealous. Kind of jealous. Kathy, Chloe says, "Wowzers." Patricia says, "Wow, right?" I have really done some stitching. I have definitely done some stitching. Oh, I don't do a whole lot of embroidery normally. That being said, even though I don't do a whole lot of embroidery normally, when I do embroidery, I end up frequently doing a lot of it at one time. My normal embroidery most of the time is quilt labels or, you know, something small. I just did aprons for the local theater. Okay, I can't see what this is embroidering, so let me see what it says. Ooh, placement stitch for ground. Okay, yay. Susan says that is a lot of stitching, isn't it? Right? I think I've set a record. I don't think I've stitched that much on any other machine ever, because I don't think my Husqvarna could handle that many stitches. I think that's why I literally sewed through that machine. Because yeah, this really takes a lot out of a machine to do this many stitches. But I haven't serviced it in over 4 million stitches. So she's long overdue for service. Professional service. But I would need to have the money to do it. And I think I'm going to have to book my service at a place that can do it same day. Because every place is going to be a long drive to go service it. Kathy says that she's had her machine a year next month and close to 1 million stitches. It would be way more if she didn't work a full-time job. Yes, that not working a full-time job does play into the number of stitches in the machine. Absolutely does. Pam says, did you do a stitch count before this project? I accidentally restarted my stitch count on the long arm. I'm bummed. No, I did not. I would have to go in and just manually write it down. Otherwise, then I would have to like do a machine service on it and do a reset on the stitch count, and I'm not going to do that. I think that's what I did at 2 million stitches. So the 4 million that I've got since the last service is since the last time I cleared it, because I've never taken it in for a professional service. Because I have done all of the stitches on this machine. It has never been in anyone else's home. It's never been in anyone else's possession to use. So all of those stitches, aside from the original test out, which is not going to be that many stitches, all of those stitches have been mine. Oh, let's see. Kathy, you amaze me how much you do, says Chloe, right? Kathy says that sewing defeats the boredom she has when her husband is off at work. I completely can understand that. When my husband is off doing baseball-y things, or he's off doing theater things, and I don't want to be there or go or do or whatever, sewing definitely keeps me occupied. Pam says, right, Chloe? I can hardly keep up with Kathy's videos. She only gets to sew on the weekends. Weekdays are just too busy. I totally understand that. Chloe says, I see, it is a fun hobby. So I have done a lot of sewing for others, which also plays into how much I sew. So it's not just, me, only just killing the boredom. It is also me doing all these other things for other people. I'm sure that sewing on the applique patches, or sewing the patches onto my husband's uniforms and hemming pants really didn't take that many stitches. So I'm thinking it is things like this embroidery stuff that is really killing the stitch count for me. But for a machine with 6 million stitches, she's doing fantastic. I'll give her credit. She is doing absolutely fantastic. And I really, when I went in there to go find out how many stitches she had, I did not really know what to expect. I did not know how far that number was going to go up. And when I first looked at it, I was like, 600,000? No, that's not bad. And then I started really looking at the number, and I'm like, oh, 6 million. Oops. Oh. It is definitely an eye-opening experience. So if you have a machine that tells you how many stitches you've got on it, it can definitely be a very eye-opening experience. Alright, so what I've done so far, since the last time that I picked it up to show you guys, we've now got the applique fabric down for the ground, and it is now doing a stipple, so it is quilting the ground. And then I'm going to show you guys before I go, well, once I change thread colors. Whatever the next thing is, it's going to do the outline, and then before I do the path, I'm going to show you guys what it looks like. Let's see. Kathy says, very fun for me. I'm trying to get as good as my grandmother was so I can pass the knowledge to a child of mine. Hopefully, just worry about the grandkids. Don't even worry about the kids, worry about the grandkids. The grandkids are going to be the ones that carry it on. Chloe says that she is teaching her kids. Yes! Fantastic. I mean, I taught my son, but does he remember it? Probably not. I have no idea. Kathy says that she's the last person in her family that sews or quilts. Same here. Same here. Susan says, which Bernina embroidery machine is yours, Amy? It is the 770 Quilters Edition. It is... So... This is... Beauty is the Bernina 770 Quilters Edition. So when you look at the numbers for Bernina, it is going to be listed... If you want the embroidery unit too, it's going to be listed as a 770 QEE. So a QE is just going to be a quilter's edition. A QEE is going to be with the embroidery unit. So that is going to be kind of the difference. Yes, right. Pam has the same exact machine as well. And Patricia said that her daughter has no interest in it, sadly. Yeah. Even if your kids show slight interest in it, in my personal experience, it is more common that the grandchildren pick up the craft of the grandparent more so than the children did. So my grandmother that taught me to sew is my mom's mom. She was a fantastic seamstress when she was sewing. Make anything, literally anything. However, my mom knows how to sew. I don't know if it's from home ec, or I think it's from home ec, not from her mom. And for all of my mom's good things, she doesn't sew because she enjoys it. Typically, she sews because it's a necessity. So she sewed costumes for us when we were growing up, fixed clothes, things like that. But she didn't sew because she enjoyed it. Like if she made Christmas presents one year for everybody, because that was the cheaper way to go. Is just have the fabric handy and just sew stuff for the sew stuff for all the kids versus buying something. Laura says that she's really the boy one in her family that quilts right now. Hopefully one day I'll have grands to teach like my grandma taught me. Absolutely. I tried to teach my stepdaughter to quilt or to sew, and I don't think she's going to take to it, just being honest. Kathy says both of her daughters are so busy. Her oldest is trying to build her career as a pharmacist, and the youngest is raising a baby almost like a single mother because daddy works off. Yeah, I understand that too. Linda says that before her youngest son moved out 5 years ago, she had 2 grandkids learning how to sew. A boy and a girl. Sure do miss them. I don't blame you one bit, Linda. So my grandmother taught almost all of the granddaughters how to sew. She didn't teach the grandsons how to sew. There was only 3 of them. But she didn't teach them how to sew. But she taught all the granddaughters how to sew. I'm the only one who stuck with it. All the others, if they do anything, it's hit or miss. Like, they don't really do anything with it. It's just, they know how to do it, but they don't care to do it. I'm the only one that took it as a serious hobby. Alright, so the ground is now stitched. And if you guys can see that stitching on there, there's a satin stitch at the top. So the satin stitching at the top. And it's only where it's not going to have something over the top of it. This is going to have applique fabric over the top. So there was no satin stitching there. It doesn't need it. So we've stitched the ground and we stitched the path from the house. And satin stitched the ground per se. And this is purple. So I know it doesn't look purple on the screen, but it is dark purple. It's the same color as all the other purples we've got going. So now I'm going to stitch the path it's on the ground. And sometimes I really wish some of these designs were set up better so that you only had to put the color in once instead of like put it in, take it out, put it back in later. But some of these designs, that's just the way it's set up. So you just gotta be careful. You just gotta pay attention. Patricia said that her grandma taught her to crochet with her sitting on her lap. Yeah, I had one. My other grandmother tried to teach me to crochet, and I just failed miserably. The only thing I ever learned how to do was the single crochet, like the the initial chain. Everything else, I just make it too tight. I can't. I can't get it to work for me. Kathy says that her daughter-in-law is learning to sew clothes for her granddaughter, and she's doing a great job. That is fantastic. That is fantastic. Learning to sew clothes is a great gateway drug to quilting. And yes, I did just refer to our craft as a gateway drug. Or I refer to sewing as a gateway drug. I mean, we all know it is. We all know it is. But sewing clothes is a great way to get started. It's a fantastic, less stressful way to learn because you have a bigger seam allowance. Laura says that she did tell them not to send all of her sewing supplies to a donation center. Make sure they do their homework on all of her new and vintage items. Absolutely. Absolutely. Kathy says that she has 2 sisters and 1 brother. Her aunt and grandmother made sure we all knew how to sew and cook. See, nobody taught me to cook. I learned how to cook in college. Like, I did not know. I knew how to microwave things. And maybe I could cook eggs. I don't remember before I went to college. But like cooking mac and cheese, I learned how to cook mac and cheese, box mac and cheese in college. Like I did not learn it before that. I just don't, I've never had an interest in learning to cook. It was never my thing. Kathy says that she has donation centers periodically to see if you can find vintage finds. Absolutely. Kathy says that sewing was her gateway drug, right? Right. Laura says, Kathy, I do the same. Also, I found so many great deals in antique shops. Yes, absolutely. Pam says that she caught that quilting is an addiction for sure, right? So I have 2 addictions. I have Dr. Pepper and I have quilting. So, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. Lori says, I agree, Tammy. I made my own office suits many years ago. Clothes are easy. Yes, they are. Now, there's more advanced clothes that are not easy. Judy says, night, all my eyes are having trouble staying open. Absolutely, Judy. Thank you for being here for as long as you were. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you've not hit that thumbs up or thumbs down, please do that before you head out. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, let's see. Yeah, if you sew clothes, you've got that 5/8 inch seam allowance for most everything, and then it's 3/8 when you don't have the 5/8, you know, for whatever section or whatever reason. So, you know, changing to a 1/4 inch seam allowance is really incredibly hard, but it is fantastic to learn to sew with that 5/8 inch seam allowance. Kathy says that she doesn't cook as well as either of them, but bacon grease is the secret ingredient. Yes, it is. Oh, Laura. Oh, sweetheart, come on now. She says, collecting fabric is yet another addiction all on its own. Yes, it is, but you're calling me out. That is not cool. Oh. Kathy and Pam are agreeing with you, Laura. Yes, it is an addiction all on its own. Oh. But see, I now have enough project ideas and all of this other stuff like going through my head. So yeah, it is going to be exciting. Okay, so I think I asked this yesterday, so bear with me for asking a second time. Let's see, Laura says that she sewed clothes for her kids because we were so broke and then it was cheaper. Yes, it was cheaper back then. It is not a cheaper hobby now than it was back when I was even growing up. Or even when my son was little, it was cheaper to sew than to buy. That is also how I started quilting. Laura says, Tammy, I'm not calling you out, just joining the club. Yes, kind of, but you are still calling me out. Just saying, you're still calling me out. Glenda says that she keeps saying she's not getting any more fabric, but lol. Yeah, right? I mean, you gotta get some more fabric. So the panel that I bought at the quilt show, the 8-panel piece Moda thing, that is going into a specific project, so I'm not going to count that as a fabric purchase. I did buy a panel that has 2 semi-trucks. That is going into a specific project, so that's not really a fabric purchase. Then I did buy a 3-yard cut of fabric. That was a fabric purchase, but at $1 a yard, you really can't turn that down, especially when it's really good fabric. So I did buy 3 yards of fabric recently, and then someone sent me just over a yard of some beautiful purple galaxy fabric. Mind blown. And the layer cake. So that wasn't technically a fabric purchase for me, so I'm not going to count it as a fabric purchase. I am collecting it until I figure out what I'm going to do with it. But I am working on that. I am working on figuring it out. I'm so excited about it. And then my Secret Sew Santa also sent me something. So I still have to take a picture of it. I got 3 spools of thread, a pack of needles, and small little fat quarter bundles, like 5 fat quarters or something. I haven't opened it. It's still kind of in its bag that it came in. So I'll open that and take a picture of that for my Secret Sew Santa thing. I've still got to send mine out to my Secret Sew Santa. So my Secret Sew Santa duties are not done. It's going to send out on Tuesday when I send everybody else's stuff out too. So I've got a lot to send out Tuesday. Let's see. Pam says, it's so pretty, it has to come home with me, right? We can't leave it at the fabric store. We can't just leave it without a good home. Kathy says that it was cheaper when our kids were younger, but not so cheap now. But our kids wore great fabrics, 100% cotton. Now the cheaper clothes have all these bad fabrics. Yes, they do. Absolutely. Susan says that she learned to sew at age 7, so clothes for herself, then her kids, and then my granddaughter. Quilting took over big time. Yes, I started sewing clothes for myself as well. I started learning to sew when I was about 7 or 8, and then really took off probably about the time I was 10. That's at least what age my mom says I was when I really took off with it. But I think that's when my grandmother finally took me for the summer to teach me. Kathy says 100% natural fibers is so much better for you. I know it doesn't seem like it would make a difference, but it really does. Yes, it does. Absolutely. I see that comment, Chloe. Patricia says, every time I go to the quilt shop, my husband asks what I'm making with it. Like, that's a requirement for buying fabric. I need to find my bag. Okay, I know where it is. I'll bring it up next Sunday if I don't bring it up before then. The bag says, yes, I really do need more fabric. Project TBD, so project to be determined. That's the perfect bag. It's the perfect bag ever. Laura says, Glenda, I tell myself that little white lie all the time. When I got back today, I had 6 boxes that arrived while we were out of town. All of them had fabric in them except one. It had zippers. Laura, you're my hero. Chloe says, you might not find it again. You can't leave it behind. Oh, you're cracking me up. You cracked me up. Patricia says, Laura says, Patricia, just remind him you left more fabric than you came home with. That is not fair. You know, if I tell my husband that, he will remember that. And when we go to Hobby Lobby and I tell him that, that's a lot of stuff that we're coming home with, he will remind me that there's all this stuff he left behind. I cannot use that line with my husband. That one will not work. Kathy says, well, I have to get to bed, have to work tomorrow at 6 a.m. Catch you all the next one. Absolutely, Kathy. Sleep well, sleep well. And I'm so looking forward to November 7th. We're counting down days. All right. Susan says, I always say with cotton for my kids as it breathes in our hot summers. Yes, it does. It absolutely does. Laura says 100% Chloe. Yeah, I mean, if you do leave it behind, you might not find it again. Now, I will say, last year I bought some pumpkin fabric for a mug rug for one of my guild mates. Like I drew a name, got somebody in particular, made a mug rug for her out of this fabric that had these pumpkins on it. And yes, I bought it at Hobby Lobby because that was where I could find fabric that I wanted to buy. And when I made that harvest jelly roll race quilt for our wall that is hanging up right now. That fabric was available, so we bought more of that fabric. So we could find that fabric again. Not that I really needed it. I kind of did, but not that I really wanted to need it. Let's put it that way. Not that I wanted to need it. Oh my goodness. Alright, so I've got a couple leaves. Oh, okay, that's where the leaves are. Okay. It told me the next thing I am stitching is leaves. And there is 2 different colors on the leaf. So I've got to decide what colors I am doing for the leaf real quick. Because this path is almost, well, it's 7 minutes. It's still going to be going for a little bit. Oh, I don't need the camera. I need the flashlight. Let's do the flashlight. Alright, we are going to do that color for the background of the leaf and that color for the front of the leaf, I think. Yeah, those will work. Okay. And you guys aren't actually getting the real colors of anything. I do apologize for that. Now, I do have something coming to me, but it doesn't look like it's been delivered yet. It was supposed to be delivered today, and U.S. Postal Service is supposed to have delivered it by 9 p.m. my time. It is now 9:07. It is not here. It is still listed as out for delivery. So we're going to see how late it takes them to deliver, if they're actually going to deliver today or not. Oh, package available for pickup, which means I'm not going to be able to get it until tomorrow. Yep, apparently they're going to hold it, so I have to go pick it up. So I can't even pick it up until Tuesday. Great. Woohoo. So I need to, what I bought is, I bought a muffle pad to go underneath my machine and to go underneath the table legs of this table so that it vibrates less. It's like the things to go underneath the washing machine feet, so your washing machine doesn't vibrate and move across the floor. It's that kind of thing. So I bought it for the sewing machine to see if that helps my neighbor. Let's see, Laura says that she did score big though. She's not a huge Tula Pink fan, but she does like it. She got 3 layer cakes and the Star Cluster quilt kit for $225 from a quilt shop in Iowa. They were all 50% off. That is amazing. That is a lot to get for $225. There was a quilt kit that I wanted to get at the quilt show that I went to, and I wasn't 100% sure that it was in our budget, and I had something come up, so it was a good idea that I didn't get it. So it worked out that I didn't get it. But if I had been able to get it, it was a 108-inch square batik quilt kit, and I was kind of in love with it, but it is what it is. Let's see. Laura says, Chloe, they had a ton of different yardages on sale as well. Ooh, yeah. She said she had it. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Now, if you ever see anything that you want to get from me, you're more than welcome to. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm not begging. I promise. I'm not begging. I am going to put together a wish list in the next week or 2. So I will have a wish list up of things that I am planning to get for my studio. So, you know, if you guys are looking for things that you want to upgrade in your studio, or you're looking for ideas or whatever, there will be a wish list up. I'm not expecting anyone to buy anything, so please do not take it as a pitch to get you to buy stuff, okay? That is not what it is at all. It is just, I want to put it out there so you guys see what I'm looking at. Patricia says that she has her eye on legit kits, but they are pricey. Yes, they are. They are. Chloe says, good idea, Tammy. Thank you. Thank you. One of the things that I do want to get is to upgrade my table to the larger size one, because I'm always sewing on it, you know, on these lives or whatever. So I do want to upgrade it to a larger size, so I have just a little bit of extra room. But things like that are not going to be available on like Amazon. So I can't just make an Amazon wish list and post it. So I'm going to figure out some kind of options. we're going to do some kind of options. Because I wouldn't want anybody to spend that kind of money on me. Let's see. The quilt kit finishes at 75 inches square. Ooh, that's a good size too. Glenda says that she wants a legit kit, but way out of her league. Now, if you've not considered it before, and I know it's kind of the draw of legit kits, but if you've not considered it before, you can get the legit kit foundation papers. Like, you can get the pattern and not get their fabrics. So you can buy your own fabrics or use your own fabrics from your stash. And that does save you quite a bit of money. There is one that almost looks like Paladin. It almost looks like my dog. But it's not quite exactly. So in order to do him, I would have to buy just the pattern and sub in my own fabrics. So that is always an option as well. Now, can you necessarily always match the fabrics, you know, buying your own or subbing in your own? No, probably not. But it would be a more affordable option if that's something that you're willing to do. Laura says there are a couple of legit kits that I like, but I'm afraid of. Oh, don't be afraid of it, Laura. Don't be afraid of it. I can help get you through that. That is not a problem. Foundation paper piecing is not that difficult once you get the hang of it. A lot of the biggest challenge of foundation paper piecing is getting the hang of it. Chloe wants the boxer one, and the green background is perfect. Oh, that's awesome! Laura said she bought some of the Moda cake mixes to try before she invests in a legit kit. I think the cake mixes is what I have. But I have the charm square, so I have the cupcake mix. I don't have the actual 10-inch square cake mixes. I have the 5-inch square cupcake mix. And I didn't realize it, but I bought 2 of the same thing. So I have all of those. And they're kind of similar to making foundation paper piecing, but not quite. It's kind of like that triangle paper. Do you know what I'm talking about when I say triangle paper? That's kind of like what the cupcake mixes are. Glenda says she doesn't want to gather all the fabric. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Laura says that she thinks she's an old dog. She doesn't know if she can learn new tricks. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. It is not the biggest challenge with foundation paper piecing is quite literally just getting into a rhythm. Once you get into a rhythm with foundation paper piecing, it flows really well. You do have to get into that rhythm though. There is a rhythm to foundation paper piecing. Now my temperature quilt that I am issuing the pattern out for by the 1st of January is foundation paper piecing, in addition to traditional piecing, but it is also curved piecing because it is a double wedding ring quilt. So there's going to be a lot of that we're going to be doing too throughout the year, so you will be able to see how that works. And it would be a less expensive pattern. You could do 1 month, or you could do 1 section and see if you like it. And it's not going to be insanely expensive. I'm not going to do that. But that will be an option too, if you want to learn on that too. Susan says, so far none of the legit kits have called to me. There's like maybe one other one that I would be interested in doing, but a lot of them, I feel like once I do a legit kit, it's going to look like everyone else's legit kit. And I don't have a problem with that necessarily, but I am very much an independent person, and I want to do a lot of different things. So it's kind of happened in between. Pam says many of her UFOs need to be long-armed before she takes on her new big projects. Patricia says that she wants to do deep dive. Hubby wants Skulliver. Skulliver is kind of the other one that I want, if I was to do one. Welcome in, Sean. Good day, he says. Good day to you, sir. Good day, good day. Chloe says that she needs to finish her first block of foundation paper piecing, maybe this week. Yay! That's exciting. Ooh, oh my gosh, yes. My husband would absolutely die if I got the Legit Kit, Starry Night one. He loves Starry Night. He loves Bingo Starry Night. And he would absolutely die if I got that one and put that one together. Let's see. Also, my husband is a car guy and has a Camaro, and I think he'd like. Oh yeah, he definitely loved that one. I would have done that one for my son, but I'm not doing that one just for kicks. Susan says it's the Judy Niemeyer foundation paper piecing patterns that call to me. I do have another one of those that I need to do as well. I have a double wedding ring with a star that I've got for that. So there is another Judy Niemeyer coming up in my list. I also have a Jacqueline DeJong one, and I would love to take one of her courses. I just don't have the funds for that. The local class that's going to be coming up in August, I think, is $500 and something, and I just don't have that to put towards a class right now. And I have other things that I want to attend as well that I could put that money towards, where I'd get a lot more different things out of it versus just one project. Laura says, Tammy, that makes a lot of sense. I rarely follow a pattern to the letter. I usually change something up to fit my taste. Yes, absolutely. Oh, yeah, it does, Sean. He says the new one that looks like a Halloween stained glass window looks fun. I think that one is actually a little bit easier than some of the other ones that I've seen, solely because Glenda, she says, haven't seen that one yet, need to go look. Ian has been working on that one. That's where you're going to find that one. Yeah, you're going to find that one over at Ian's channel. He has been working on that one. I don't know. Have they actually issued it out where you can purchase it, Sean? But I do know Ian was working on the stained glass one. Oh, it is one of the newer releases. And he doesn't think he's a foundation paper piecing guy. But if you were, you'd like to try that. Foundation paper piecing is not... It's not the beast in the room. It's just different. It's just different. Now, Sean, I know you're not in my Facebook group, I don't think. If you were not, if you've never heard of George Siciliano, he is someone you need to look up. He does not do YouTube. He's not a content creator. He is a pattern designer. And yesterday, Mike was over here in my chat, and he helped post the link in my Facebook group for me because I could not pull it up while I was working on, doing the embroidery stuff. But George Siciliano has some fantastic things to do as well. He is not Italian. His last name is Italian, but he is full-on American. No accent to be heard. Susan says, congrats on the ribbon, Sean. Yes, absolutely, congrats. I heard that you got congratulations. I heard that you got ribbons. I haven't gone back to see your videos yet, but I will go back and catch them. Patricia says that the Halloween one is available on the Legit Kits website. Sean says it was on pre-order. Not sure if they shipped yet, but should be soon. Yeah, so I have some George Siciliano patterns. I love it. He says, no worries, Linda. It's all publicly announced. That's fantastic. Yeah, I've got to come see what the congratulations is for, because I heard ribbons, and that's all I've heard so far. So I'm going to have to come look. I've been glued to the machine all day, aside from when I briefly stepped out to go take care of some stuff. But I've been glued to this machine all stinking day. It's not Facebook. It is group. Actually, do exclamation FB, FB. Not the full word Facebook. Just do FB. Had to think there for a minute because I hadn't used some of my commands in a little bit. But yeah, do exclamation group or exclamation FB for Facebook. And that will give you the link to the Facebook group. And I'll get you in pretty darn quick so that way you can go see what I'm going to do, or what you're wanting to do for next year. Well, I'm starting Fab Farm again I'm starting Fab Farm in January. So that is going to be a block of the month, stitch along. I don't know how many of my lives I'm going to do to work on it, but I'm going to do one animal a month. One way or the other, I'm doing one animal a month. That is my plan right now. Susan says that she got 2 blue ribbons at State Fair as well as Best in Category. Pretty proud of herself as she was first time entering in the State Fair. Yes, those were fantastic ribbons, Susan. Fantastic quilts, fantastic ribbons. Those were amazing. Absolutely amazing. We will definitely not get the mummy stitched down today. I can guarantee you that. We are still working on the tree. Let me see how far away the mummy is. Let's see. Once I get this. Alright. I will go get you in just a second, Sean. Let's see. Tree, weeds, tombstone. Yeah, no, we're not getting to the mummy. There's a hole for the mummy, but he's not actually there yet. So we will get him there. We will get him there. Alright, let me refresh my page. And let's go get you in that group. Pending approval, membership questions, member requests. There we go. Alright. I don't think that person is legit. So I see one person, but I do not see Sean yet. Let me go refresh my page. Where in the world? Where in the world? Okay, so it tells me that you requested to join, and then it's not there. I do not know why. Let me refresh my page one more time, see if that fixes it. Nope, it's not showing me there. Let me go to my phone and see if that's what the issue is. He's still waiting on his first blue ribbon in Best in Category. His wife has 3 blue, 1 second, and 1 Best in Section for engineering. Oh my gosh. Your wife has been racking them up, Sean. She has been racking them up. Okay, it is not showing, Sean, for some reason. If you want to go click that link again and go request again. Oh, you are in the Facebook group. Oh, well, okay then. Yeah, go click that link for George Siciliano. And, yeah, I've got some of his patterns. And I am going to do one of them this year. I don't know which one, but I am going to do one of them. Sean's list. I do have more ribbons overall, since apparently we're counting. Y'all are fantastic. Y'all are fantastic. I'm loving it. I do love it. I do love it. I have more ribbons than my husband, but my husband hasn't entered anything. Okay, so while we're talking about fair and ribbons and all of that, I got something that's on my mind that I am considering doing, and I don't know how crazy I am for considering doing it. Helen says that she can make beautiful holes while knitting, so she sticks with crochet. Sean says, I looked, but I need to try something simpler first. The thing with the George Siciliano stuff is that they are on foundation, like interfacing kind of thing, so the interfacing stays in, so it never comes out. It's kind of cool. Just gonna say, it's kind of cool. You may join me for FebRom. Yay! Yes, absolutely. I would love that. I would love that. I don't know exactly when I'm going to stitch on it. It may be like one time a month on Saturdays. So starting in November, I am moving to Tuesday nights, Thursday nights, and Sunday nights only. So we will have our Tuesday nights at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, Thursday nights at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, and Sunday nights at 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So 6, 6, and 8 here, that would be 8, 8, and 10 your time. So they're all evening ones. So what I'm thinking is, like, one time a month, I'm going to do a Saturday day sew. And it'll be a long one. Like, it'll be, like, come hang out, spend, 3-4 hours on a live or something. Kind of like what Laura Lynn over at Mom and Pop Quilt Shop does, where she has a long live once a month. I think I kind of want to do that for a Saturday, and not have the scheduled get up super early that I've been doing. I know it's only 11 o'clock you guys this time when I go live at 9 a.m., but 9 a.m. is still early for me. I'm still struggling to keep up with that. So once we move to November, I'm going to drop the Saturday mornings, but I don't know if I'll do a November or December Saturdays, but I will do a Saturday live, or Patricia's asking maybe on a Zoom. That might not be a bad idea. We might do that too. I will look into that. I do have to renew my Zoom, which is insanely expensive. So I do have to renew it. We're going to renew it anyway. My husband needs it for his baseball things and everything else. So we are going to renew it, but it renews in January. So I don't know exactly when it renews. I'm going to look and see. But what we may do is we may do a Saturday live, like Saturday long live, and then do a Sunday Zoom. I think that might be an easier option for me. So like the Saturday that I do the long live, I may do the Zoom on the next day. So I may do a retreat the following day. And just work more on whatever we're working on, kind of thing. So like open sew, choose your own project, choose your own adventure, and like choose whatever page you're going to turn to, kind of thing. Have you ever tried one of those recipe books like that? Let's see. Sean says, off to bed. Happy Thanksgiving to any Canadians in the group. Awesome, Sean. Sleep well, sir. Thank you for stopping in. I greatly appreciate it. We are less than 30 away from 500. Lori says, I enjoy Zooming with several YouTubers or floss tubers. Yes. We did a Zoom retreat the last weekend of September, and that worked really well. I'm not going to be able to do that every month. I will not physically be able to do a full weekend retreat every month. It's just not in my physical abilities. But I think doing a Sunday Zoom once a month might be an option. So I could do the long live on Saturday and then do a Zoom on Sunday, something like that. So that's what I'm thinking about I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. So sorry. Laura says that she crochets and has been doing it since she was about 5. She can practically do it with her eyes closed. A lot of people who crochet or knit can do that. And I really tried knitting. I promise, I really tried knitting. Because I knew I was struggling with crochet and could not do it to save my life. I did do a little bit better with knitting, but I did not pick up enough skills with it to really make a good stab at it, so to speak. Awesome. Well, happy Thanksgiving to you, Lori. I just picked up on that. You guys, I am clueless some nights, but I just picked up on that. So I'm stitching the trees right now. When I go to stitch the leaves or the weeds, I will pull it off so you guys can see, because the next thing after that, after the weeds, is the tombstone. So it is stitching all black right now. It's got 3 minutes left on the stitching right now. When you do a lot of embroidery like this, when you do these heavy embroideries where it's, this one is 37,698 stitches. When you do these heavy embroideries, if you've never done something like this before, I always recommend cleaning your machine out before you get started and doing whatever oiling that your machine manual recommends. Do any and all oiling before you get started. Start with a brand new needle. I do about 2 or 3 of these on one needle, which is kind of pushing it a little bit. But on freestanding lace, I would do a new needle for every last one, just because those are really hard on the needles. Let's see. Susan says that she dislikes knitting after her mother humiliated her with her caustic criticism. Oh no! No, I'm my own worst critic. That is my problem. I'm so critical of myself. It is. I'm awful. I'm awful to myself sometimes. Lori says prep is all done for turkey tomorrow. Drink time. No more crying. Yay! Yes, because you were cutting onions. That makes a lot of sense now. I understand. I caught that finally. Now that I understand what I was missing. Alright, so I'm going to pull this guy off. Ooh, we did the spider as well. We did the tree and the spider. Let me trim this little jump thread real quick. Or trim a couple of these jump threads. And that way the threads are out of the way. I am in love with these scissors. I showed these on one of the other lives I did. These are they're called side hopper, and they're jump stitch scissors, and they really do not have enough power to trim fabric. So you're not going to ever cut your fabric doing this. It is only going to cut thread. Ooh, I have another jump stitch over here that I'd never trimmed. Bear with me. We got extra threads over here, over on the house that I didn't trim. And no, I cannot see them very clearly. But these scissors are fantastic for this because they really can get in all these really tight little places and get these little bitty threads out of there. Alright, so what we just finished, we did the leaves up here, and then the stems that it's attached to, and then this tree trunk, and then this spider down here. So that's what we've done so far. So we are on, where am I at? We've done the ground. We are about to do the weeds, which is step 21. So we have gone through 20 of the 30 stitches, stitch setting, or stitch, sections for all of this. Oh, Chloe says, enjoy the holiday, Lori. It is so much work. Yes, Thanksgiving is a lot of work. My husband is actually looking at options to do a Veterans holiday dinner kind of thing for his veterans group that he has started. It kind of like fell on his heart that, you know, there were veterans out there not being taken care of over the holidays and such, and they might need a little bit of extra assistance. And so he's kind of wanted to do something for the veterans. And so he is looking at, you know, he's looking at bringing these veterans groups together that he's in and doing a veterans Thanksgiving for all those, especially that don't have family to go to. So it'll all be the military guys hanging out. And like if they were in deployment, that's what they would have to begin with. They would have each other. They wouldn't have their families there with them necessarily. So it's kind of like filling in that blank spot. So he's looking at doing that, and he loves to do that kind of stuff. It is so much work. He is so exhausted after he gets done, but he loves doing that kind of thing. So that is one thing that we may be doing this year, is doing a Veterans Thanksgiving as well. So that may play into my Thanksgiving Day plans as well. Patricia says that she tried knitting, but after crocheting for so long, could never get used to holding 2 needles. Thankfully, I never got the hang of holding a crochet hook. So changing to 2 needles was no big deal. Susan says, Mother put both my sister and down over any efforts in needlework. As a result, I don't like knitting, and my sister doesn't enjoy crocheting. Yeah, see, I mean, and that's kind of the thing with sewing and quilting as well. So this is kind of like a mental health moment. What needle do I use on this? If that's what you're asking, Mitzi. This is a Schmetz 80 weight needle, or 80-12 needle. I have a pack of 100 of them. So this is like it's a little slide open pack. I did order this off of Amazon. So I have a lot of needles. Like, I've got a ton of these. I do have some embroidery specific needles. If I was doing freestanding lace, or I was doing jersey or knit or towels, or, you know, anything substantially different, I'd swap out. But for these, the Schmetz 80 weight needles are holding up very well, so I'm just using what I had available. I could go in my closet and go get the rest of the needles out and like go with my expensive organ needles. I really do like organ needles for embroidery, but because I was swapping between this and doing regular stitching for so long, I just kind of started doing these with the 80-12 needles from Schmetz, and I just haven't swapped back yet. It's just what I have available and right handy. It's not what I would recommend, but it is what I had available. Let's see, Glenda says, I always told my boys they could do or be anything they wanted to be after receiving so much criticism myself. Yes, it is a fantastic lesson that you learned the hard way, that you prevented the future generations from getting, which is a fantastic way. It's not the best way to learn it to begin with, but it was a fantastic lesson for you to learn, so you didn't pass it on. So, you know, you gotta count the benefits for that. You learned it the wrong way, you learned it the hard way, the bad way, but you didn't carry that forward, which is a very positive thing. Patricia asks, how often do I have to change the needle? Well, I did probably 4 embroideries, 4 of these on my last needle, and they're about the same amount of stitches, so about 38,000 stitches. So by the time I got done, over 100,000 stitches per needle. Is that what Bernina recommends? No. No, it is not. The recommendation would be to start with a fresh needle for each embroidery. So I would have gotten 38,000 stitches per needle. And even that is pushing it a little bit, especially for the Schmetz 80 weight needles. If I was using an organ embroidery needle, I should be able to do 5 or 6 of these easily before the needle is really showing a lot of wear. Susan says that's why we both never criticized any of our kids' efforts. We knew how much it hurt. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's also why on the playground I tried to stop bullying when it was starting. Yes. So I didn't get what my dad experienced when he was growing up is he was always compared to his younger sister. My dad is the older of the two kids, and he was compared to his younger sister. His younger sister didn't struggle academically. She didn't struggle in sports. She didn't struggle with anything. Like, everything came super easy, super simple to my aunt. Things didn't come easy to my dad. So my dad had to work harder to, like, my dad could put in 100% effort and still might end up with a C. And it's not because he's not smart. It's not because he's not a bright person, but he doesn't test well. He was never a good student because testing was very hard on my dad. Like, that was just not the best thing for him. Nowadays, kids would get help if they don't test well. My dad did not get that help. That was not even, they didn't do that when my dad was growing up. That was not, you were just a bad student if you didn't test well. And it was all my dad's fault. Well, my grandparents spent so much time criticizing my dad and saying, why can't you be like your little sister? So he grew up hearing the message over and over and over again that he wasn't good enough because he wasn't as good as his sister at whatever it was, whether it was school, whether it was sports, whatever it was, he was always compared to his younger sister. So when my parents raised me and my brother is the older and I'm the younger. So it was the same dynamic, older boy, younger girl. My parents went the exact opposite, and it wasn't compare the two of you to each other ever. It was never compare the two of you to each other. And while that was helpful in the fact that, I never felt like I was compared to my brother. I never felt like, I was less than because I wasn't my brother. And he was never told that he was less than because he wasn't me. Like, that part was good. That part was good. But at the same point, because we were never compared, we were never permitted to be compared to each other. The only place I ever heard, oh, you're so-and-so's little sister, the only place I heard that was at school, where, my teachers had previously had my brother before I got to their class. So I got that comparison there at school, but I didn't get it at home. So when I heard it at school, I had no idea how to react to it. I felt like at school I was living in my brother's shadow because I didn't know how to respond to, oh, you're so-and-so's little sister. And my parents would say, well, you need to be proud of it, or, do whatever you will with that. They would put their own spin on it. But they went so far into the not comparing the two of us to each other that we are not close at all. I have no relationship with my brother. He doesn't want to have a relationship with me. It is like we were both only children. We were raised together. We lived together until he moved out. But, he moved out when he was 18, or after he graduated high school. He moved out and moved in with friends and, did the whole college thing, community college thing. But we were so not compared to each other that we are both very independent people. And it's good and it's bad because I have no sibling. I don't feel like I have a brother, if that makes sense. Let's see. Susan says, let's see. Glenda said, I had a teacher who criticized my brother in front of everyone in school, and I slapped her and got suspended. I was the younger kid. Mitzi says, time for her to go. Good night, all. Good night, Mitzi. Thank you for being being here. If you haven't hit thumbs up or thumbs down, please do one before you leave. If you do not mind, helping me, I would appreciate it. Help YouTube. Let YouTube know that you like me, or that you like my content, or that you're interacting with my content. Whatever you want to call it. She says, Happy Thanksgiving to all Canadians. Absolutely, absolutely. But yeah, so technically, I am the younger sibling. I'm the baby. I mean, and part of my life, I felt like I was the baby sibling. Like, I felt like I had a brother. But because my parents went the complete opposite of the comparing us to each other. Helen says she's got to go too. Absolutely, Helen. Thank you for being here for as long as you were. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a good night. Again, hit thumbs up or thumbs down before you leave if you haven't already. I appreciate it. I mean, I've got a sibling. Technically, I'm blood related. It is a full sibling, like both parents, you know, same kids. I mean, same parents for both kids. But I have no active relationship with him because we were raised to be our own people. So much so, I really do feel like I'm an only child. Like, I don't feel like, aside from the fact that I technically have a brother, I don't have a brother. Chloe says that she has a sister but really don't. Yep, that's kind of what I'm dealing with. Susan says that she's the fourth of 5. She got the, oh, you're Gary's sister and Wendy's sister and Chris's sister. Got so tired of hearing that. Some teachers even added, you're Dawn's daughter. Oh, yeah, right. They did that. They didn't do that to me. They didn't do, oh, you're so-and-so's daughter. They did the, Lori says that she's much older than my brothers. That never happened for us. See, now, my brother and I were 4.5 years apart. So we were technically raised, we could have been raised to be close. We could have been raised, I mean, I played with my brother's toys. I definitely stole his pickup trucks and his cars and things like that. I was very much a tomboy. I played in the dirt, made mud pies. I was the kid that loved being outdoors and playing outdoors in the dirt and the mud and all of that. But we were close enough in age that when he was in high school, I was in junior high. So if somebody, said something to me in junior high, or was mean to me, because we were in the same school, he definitely could have been the protective older brother and, said something to them or stood up for me or whatever. But of course that just did not happen because we were raised so much different. Lori says that it didn't happen for them. Patricia shows that her brother is 10 years older than me, never been close. See, some siblings are naturally going to be close when they're that far apart, and some aren't. My husband was the closest with his oldest brother, and they are 10 years apart. That brother is now deceased. But his next older brother is the next closest one to him. After that, it would skip the middle brother, or the middle child, and it would go to his sister as to being the next closest to him. Susan said, my dad taught in the same school district, and it wasn't the big district it is now. Oh, yeah, now there we go. Patricia says, yes, mud pies. Yes, absolutely. I love making mud pies. Lori says, 11 and 16 years difference. Oh, my gosh, you were the babysitter. Yeah, yes, you were. Yes, you were. Laura says that she's the oldest of 4. She thinks her sisters especially resented her because they were compared to her. It didn't happen as much with my brother. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I can see that. Girls, I can see girls and boys being compared to another girl or boy sibling. I could definitely see that being a case. But yeah, I mean, my parents went completely 180 from what my dad had been raised as, where the two of them were compared to each other, and I mean, I'm independent. I'm absolutely independent, but I was independent as a baby too. I was how when you have a child, and I can say this as a parent from a parent's perspective, when you have a child, when they get sick, they're going to do one of two things. They're going to want to be held and cuddled and loved on and doted on and everything else. Or they're going to be the ones, lay me down and leave me alone. My brother was I want to be cuddled, I want to be held, I want to be comforted, I want all of the things done for me. My brother was that baby. I was the baby, lay me down and leave me alone. I did not want to be held if I was not feeling good. I wanted somebody to just lay me down, leave me alone, and let my body figure it out. I did not want to be held and cuddled and comforted. That was never me. That was never me, even as an infant. So maybe that plays into the independence a little bit. It's possible, but I'm not sure. Susan said parents had all 5 of his kids born between 51 and 61. Yes. That's kind of my husband's story. They were all born between 52 and 63. Or 53 and 63. And it was 5 kids. It would have been 6 if my husband's twin had lived. Glenda says that her brother is 6 years older than her, and 1 older sister and 1 younger sister. Yeah, y'all come from large families. Laura says that she was always a rule follower, and they rebelled more than I ever did. Laura says, Susan, your parents were busy. Right? I mean, I guess there was nothing else to do, but Susan was the I don't rock the boat, tried to please. I was very much that as well. I was a people pleaser as a kid, but I was also the very independent. Give me something that I can figure out or work on and let me do it. I did not want to have a whole lot of interference. I'm going to speed this up just a little bit, so we're going to finish this before I have to get off of here. Because my neighbor downstairs will be upset if I'm sewing after 10. That's why I'm getting the washer, feet things. Let's see, he was in trouble all the time, and I followed the rules, says Patricia. Laura says, Patricia, I would have been terrified of the consequences. I never wanted to make anyone angry. I was a people pleaser for sure. See, I was like that, okay? I took it to the extreme. I wasn't just the let me follow the rules. Limited birth control back then, right, Chloe? I agree. They make jokes about that now. You know what causes that, right? You know what you got 5 or 6 kids. You know what causes that, right? But I was not just a rule follower. I was if these 5 other people didn't follow the rules, I tattled on them. I was definitely the tattletale, and I was the rule follower, and I was the enforcer, because everybody else needed to follow the rules too. If I had to follow the rules, so did everybody else. I was one of those. Susan says, as a result, I have many figurative footprints on my back from being walked over so often. Yeah, that comes with it. That does come with it. All right, I'm going to stitch this real quick before we get off of here, because I want you guys to see where this is going. Because this is the mummy outline. I'm not going to be able to do it tonight because we're not going to have time. But I can at least get the outline on here. You know what? No, I can't. I won't be able. I won't have time to trim it, so I can't do that. Laura says, I was very independent, took care of my siblings. I had a lot of responsibility placed on me at a young age because my mom was an alcoholic. I had to watch her and my siblings beginning at age 8. That is a tough life. That is absolutely a tough life. I started babysitting to earn money to pay for things. We weren't dirt poor, but because we were in private school, my parents were paying so much for private school, we didn't have spare money for things. So there's a lot of things that I did miss out on for that, but that's okay. Everybody has a difficult childhood in one way or another. whether it's easy to tell or not. All right. So this is what we're looking at. Let me get this thing out of my way so I can see what I'm showing you guys. All right. So we've got the house. We've got the little tree there. Welcome in, Candace. Welcome in. We're going to have to end here in just a minute. So I got the bats up here. We've got the leaves and the other tree. And then we've got the spider down here. And then we've got the tombstone right here. And it does say RIP on it. I know it's really incredibly hard to see. It'll show up much better in the daylight, in the regular normal light. So we've got the path here. This is one leg for the mummy. This is the other. And it'll come up here, and he'll have one arm coming out here. That's what this break in the tree is for. And then his other arm will come out here. And I am going to do him in silver glitter fabric. So that's what we've got left. Now, according to my machine, I've got 59 minutes left on this design. Where we're at right now, out of 30 design pieces, design stitches and things like that where you have to change thread or interact with the machine, we just stitched 1 through 24. So I've got 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30 to go. So I've got 6 items left to go. The next thing, Chloe says silver glitter, right? Now the ghosts that are up on the wall, you guys probably can't see them. The werewolf is silver glitter. The ghost here is silver glitter. The body of the toad is silver glitter. The skull with the tombstone is silver glitter. The skeleton guy right here is silver glitter. The ghost trick-or-treater is silver glitter. I've got ghosts with the pumpkins I did today that is silver glitter. The dress for Bride of Frankenstein, I know it's right behind my camera, so I apologize. Her dress is silver glitter. I think that's everything that has silver glitter on it so far. But the mummy will have silver glitter. So the next thing to stitch down is going to be we're going to tack down the silver glitter fabric to cover the mummy up. Then I'll trim away the extra. The next thing after that is going to be actually doing his face. So his face will be the next thing stitched. His eyes, I think there's eyes that are going on the spider as well. So those eyes, or it may be multiple colors for the eyes, I'm not sure, I'll have to look. Then the rest of the mummy will be a stitch. And then after that is going to come the little stars. So a lot of these, like there's going to be one there, there's going to be one there, probably 1 or 2 through here. There's going to be 1 or 2 through here, there's going to be one there, one there. I mean, there's going to be stars all over here. They are confetti, but every last one of these up here has the stars on them as well. So there's only 6 things left to do, but it's going to take a good 30 minutes or so to go through it all. Oh, welcome in, Jess. Glad you are here. Laura asks, are you using metallic thread or just metallic fabrics? Technically metallic fabrics. It is actually a cotton, but it's coated with metallic. So this is the black glitter, and you guys can really see the glitter on here. But the glitter is not coming off, but it is a regular cotton. And I think it is Moda. I did buy this at the local quilt shop. My local quilt shop here in town does have the head lady, the manager at the store. She really does love some glitter fabric. She really does. So there is a good selection of glittery, shiny things in the store, in this one section of the store. So this doesn't show up as glittery on this camera as the black does, but this is the silver glitter fabric. So when I look through it, you know how some cottons, like if you hold them up, you can look through them and you can see light. I can just barely see some light. Like if it was brighter, I could see through it a little bit more clearly, maybe like window or whatever. But it is a little bit like firmer. It's kind of like a laminated cotton almost, is I guess the best way to put it. It's not fully laminated, but there's a lot of glitter on it. I mean, it's really shiny. Jess says, wow, that's amazing. Hello, Tammy friends. Absolutely, Jess. Yes. Laura says that she had no idea she had a dysfunctional family until a therapist used that term. It was all I knew. I didn't think it was tough, just what I had to do. Yeah, I understand. I totally understand. And Susan says, sounds like me, Laura. Yeah, right? I mean, a lot of us had issues. Ooh, Susan, she says she pushed her little brother downstairs and was so afraid he would tell mother that she hid in the closet for hours. He was so surprised. He never told and thankfully didn't get hurt. Well, that is very incredibly good luck. Yeah, no, I didn't have that kind of relationship. Now, my dad worked third shift or night shift or whatever. And so he would go to work late at night and get off in the morning. So he would sleep during the day, and especially during the summer, Mom would go off to work, and then Dad would be home watching us. And as long as we kept the volume down on the TV, it was okay. But we had to stay inside because Dad didn't want us out wandering the streets or wandering off or getting into trouble while he is sleeping. So until Dad woke up from his nap or woke up from his overnight sleep, we weren't allowed to go outside. We had to stay in the house and we had to behave. You know, we had to keep the TV at a certain volume or lower, and we had to duke it out between the two of us as to what we watched or what we did. But we had to stay in the house because, you know, again, they were worried about us, you know, getting into trouble or getting hurt or whatever, and I get it. But I mean, that was my interaction with my brother growing up. It's just, he was supposed to watch me, and the two of us were supposed to entertain ourselves for many hours. We did not have babysitters. I never knew what it was like to have a babysitter watch me. My parents did not want us to have a babysitter experience ever, so we never had one. So I don't know what it's like to have a babysitter. My brother was supposed to watch me, but that was never, like, it was just, it wasn't really that kind of situation for us. So it is what it is. It is what it is. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get off of here. I need to get ready for tomorrow. I'm going to finish stitching this, and I have 2 more to stitch after this. It will be the other witch, and it will be Frankenstein. So these will be done tomorrow sometime. And then I will be scheduling when we are going to do the long live and putting this together. So this is going to go into a full good size wall quilt. So each of these is going to have its own block, so to speak. So I'm going to finish those details up and get everything scheduled. So be looking for that. We are going to do a long live and have some spooky games and some fun stuff going on, and getting that going. So I will have more details on Tuesday when I see you guys on Tuesday night. And as far as I know, I will be dressed up this Tuesday again. So please, please, please be here Tuesday night if you can. If you cannot, please make sure to watch the replay. If you have not hit a thumbs up or thumbs down, please do so YouTube knows you guys like the content or you're interacting with it. And I have more giveaways Tuesday. So do not panic. I do have more giveaways. And I am going to ship out. If you won anything last week, I will ship out Tuesday because post office is closed on Monday. So I will ship out Tuesday morning. So I will provide information on tracking for anything I have tracking for. So be watching your emails if you won something on Tuesday. That will be going out on Tuesday this week. All right. So thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Thank you for being here. If you have not taken a moment or 2 or 3 or 4, go find some fabric. Go find some quilting fabric. Go pet it. Just go pet it. Go look at it. Go admire it. go take a deep breath. Get yourself ready for the week by just spending 5 seconds getting yourself happy, getting yourself that dopamine rush from petting some fabric and loving on it for just a minute. Always take care of your mental health. Do not put it to the side. It is just as important as everything else in your life. So please, please, please take care of your mental health, and I will see you guys on Tuesday. All right. Bye.